And there's some things that we're supposed to do that many people using the same method, the same team, the same relationships, the same information, the same approach, and they stop saying it can't be done. I remember as a kid, we used to say to illustrate whether or not someone can accomplish something and whether or not they could not, to illustrate the impossibility of them accomplishing something, we would say, oh, you got a chance of doing that as a man going to the moon. Shut up, get away from me. Hey, we've gone to the moon. We don't say that anymore because when I was a kid, it was seen as impossible for man to go to the moon. That's no longer a reality. The Wright brothers, when they were able to create a vehicle that was only up in the air for about 6 seconds. Up to that point, the belief was for centuries, man couldn't fly. Because if God wanted man to fly, he'd have given him wings. You will never fly. You're not a bird. Get used to it. You're not even a pigeon. Get used to it. Might be a pigeon in your thinking, but you cannot fly. That was the belief. But the Wright brothers, who came along, and their father was a minister, and that was his belief, they had breakthrough thinking, and they changed the approach on what it would take to transport our bodies in the air. You came here to do something. Some people know right away. Nina Simone, who climbed up on a piano at 5 and started playing by ear. Some people know right away of what that is. And there are some, the majority, because they have not been exposed or seen something, that they have the abilities of greatness. I put the work in. I use my time differently than other speakers, other trainers, other life coaches. So I want you to think about what it is that you're doing with your time today. And you know what? If you look at it, if you really look at it, all of us are basically the same. The only difference is how you use your time. I know people who have a lot of talent in specific areas, and the difference between them and other people is the time that they put in. Listen to me. As you look at yourself, look at where you are right now in your life, the people that are going to come out on top, the people that are going to make an impact, the people that are going to achieve their goals are the people who are mindful on how they use their time. And one of the things that you have to do is practice. You have to practice being mindful and asking yourself, is this the most productive use of my time? While my friends were having a good time, while my friends were partying, and I love to party, but I spent more time working on developing myself and my skills. I spent more time with my coach, Mike Williams, who wrote the book, The Road to Your Best Stuff, than I did with my friends. Why? I like my friends, but they weren't going to pay my bills. But the things that I was going to learn from Mike as a coach, as a trainer, I could generate a lot of money. And it allowed me to be able to walk away from my job. Write this down. If you use your time correctly, you'll be able to generate walk away money. When you have a purpose, when you have a reason to get up in the morning, when you're doing something positive and productive with your life, when you're living from your legacy. A good man leaves a legacy for his children and for his children's children. I'm a grandfather of 15 and a great-grandfather of 4. So I'm not sitting around with one foot on the banana peeling and the other one in the graveyard. No, I'm working and I'm kicking it up several notches because I got some more in me and I know it. And I'm going to live full and die empty. And I'm going to show you how to do it too. We're going to have a good time together. If you're open to learning something, new. If you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you're willing to learn, no one can stop you. And he fired me from radio. I went into politics, and I was a state legislator, passed 14 bills my first term from the 29th House District in Columbus, Ohio. And then I retired from that and went to Miami to take care of my mother, fulfill a dream of buying a home, and then I learned how to speak. And then I've been doing this for 52 years now. I learned how to train others how to do it. When you are willing to learn, no one can stop you. You have something special. You have greatness in you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Some of you have been knocked out by life, and you got up and saw the blood. He hit me. Sometimes in life, you have to hit back. Recycle your pain. Get something from it. You already in pain. Use it. Do something with it. Allow it to take you to the next level. Allow your pain to push you to greatness.
So you are in an identity crisis, the same thing I was in. So you have to find your purpose. So let me help you with this. If you are in this situation, the solution is the first thing. You have to do the thing that God gave you. You just have to identify your gift. That's the first thing. Until you do that, you can forget it. You'll never find your purpose. You'll never know your mission. You'll never know the reason. So I think we're in an identity crisis. I think you have to identify who you are and what your real gift is and pursue the gift. The Bible says your gift will make room for you, put you in the presence of great men. That's what your gift do. That's God. That ain't Steve. I'm telling you what God say. You ain't got to believe me. It's in your Bible. I'm just telling you the truth. I identified my gift. See, that's why when he said, Steve, you can sing. Whoa, hold up, man. That's not what I do. I've identified my gift. I'm in the joke-telling business. Your gift is like a tree trunk.
Constant activity. Constant activity will get you to the top, and constant activity will get you to the bottom. Doing nothing is an activity. Being lazy is an activity. Just sit on the couch is an activity. Not want to work is an activity. In fact, you spend time trying to get out of work instead of finding work. You try to get out of work instead of finding work. Here's the truth. To get to the top requires consistency. Getting to the bottom does too. Getting to the top requires consistency. Getting to the bottom does too. I have never seen a hard-working person on the bottom. I have never seen a hard-working person on the bottom. Addiction is typical. Only you can make it permanent. Only you can change the momentum.
You may believe that you don't deserve the finer things in life.
See, the way in which we operate, ladies and gentlemen, it's a manifestation of what we believe, what's possible for us. Whatever you've done up to this point, all that it really is a duplication, it's a reproduction of what you believe subconsciously that you deserve and what's possible for your life.
So as soon as an opportunity presents itself for your career and your life to go from here to where you should be, you figure out a way to fuck it up. Self-sabotage and self-defeat. It's something. It is a family negative gene that gets passed down.
And the problem with most of y'all, every time something goes wrong, you start running and doing what other people tell you to do. And what you need to learn how to do is you walk into your belief system. Look at your belief system every single day. Stick with it. Don't rush the process. Trust the process. Don't rush the process. Trust the process. Don't rush the process. Trust the process.
The failure part of carrying failure. You've been exposed to what your life could be. If you fail here, the price is extreme. It's forever. You carry the failure forever. I'm being honest with you. You got to know you're going to win. You got to sell out. Yeah, I'm telling you, you got to become a sellout. You need to sell out. You need to get obsessed. You got to get relentless. You got to be a road dog. You got to get intense. That's what you got to do.
And the only way you can set the example is you have to always be willing to work. I don't follow people who talk about what they used to do in life. don't give a fuck what you used to do. I don't care that, you used to be the basketball. I don't care. What are you doing today? You may not be that person now, but what are you still doing to try to excel in life? And a lot of people now are talking. I hear so much talk. I don't hear a lot of work. I hear a lot of people telling you what you should be doing, how you should be doing it, how you should be fucking living. And I look at them and you're fat, you're out of shape, you look like shit, but you're telling the motherfucker how to live. No, man, I want to listen to you. There's so many people speaking this shit, and that's what bothered me a lot in the military. There's a lot of people talking shit. I don't see the real suffering behind it, behind what you're saying. I became this 297-pound person because it became my body armor. Because the inside was a fragile, weak, insecure kid. So I put this big man around it. So when people looked at me, I intimidated them. I scared them. But if they knew the real me, just a little punk. I was a little punk kid in a 24-year-old guy's body. So I knew that. No one else did. So I tried to change my life, and it started there. I went to a recruiter's office. I went there. Bad day at work. The bad day at work made me realize I gotta make a stand.
How did you lose the weight in 3 months? You just run your ass off? Or?
I couldn't run. The first thing about it was, so I said to myself, I'm gonna run 4 miles. My first run, out the gate, I'm gonna run 4 miles. I ran a mile, I ran a quarter of a mile, walked home, sat on the couch depressed. I said, man, there's no way I can do this. But what I realized though, is I wasn't gonna give up. Because I already given up a million times. And I thought about, how would I feel at 50 years old if I gave up now? I mean, not to have, so I kept all this stuff in my mind. And basically, I started becoming obsessed. Over a period of time, I started becoming obsessed with studying, with weight, with being somebody, with making people who thought I was going to be nothing kind of like feel like shit. I became obsessed with, you have to make this right. And the only person who could do it is yourself. So I became obsessed with just being obsessed.